On this edition of Touring the Cocktail, Motac Los Angeles, Baijiu's spirited essence of China. Join us as we sample traditional Baijiu and see how it's brought into the 21st century mixology.
Tonight's event is at the lovely Hakkasan restaurant located on Beverly Drive. I'm excited. Let's go. Atmosphere is amazing, and the bar is gorgeous.
Oh, it's like, it's got my favorite color and it's blue.
Yes.
So great.
Absolutely gorgeous.
What place in Los Angeles has a high-end cocktail program and also really high-end Chinese food? I met a gentleman who's become a dear friend of mine now, Roberto Loppi. We had a lovely dinner here at Hakkasan. As it happens, that night in the restaurant was the director of U.S. operations. We chatted about it. CNS Imports and Private Cask Imports joined the effort, and it all came together very, very beautifully, and so here we are tonight.
I'm the Senior Vice President of CNS Imports, and currently I'm working with Manny and kind of helping people to understand what Baijiu is. And how to appreciate Baijiu and the Chinese cultures. I'm
President and CEO of Private Cask Imports, company that I started about a year ago. I got to know the Shen family, who are the owners of CNS, and we found out that we had a lot of synergies. We were complementary. Our two companies were exciting in different ways.
I have never heard of Baijiu before. And when I started reading the descriptions, it was just too interesting and too compelling.
How did we come to adopt Baijiu as an educational vehicle? Dale DeGroff, who is our principal co-founder, for a number of years now, he's been going on about Baijiu. So I started doing some research. And I said to myself, we've got to do a program on this.
My name is Tarita, Liza, Noronha. I am the beverage manager of Hakkasan in Beverly Hills. I started off as a bartender in New York at the original US Hakkasan. I basically have always been interested in Baijiu, and I didn't really know anything about it. I met CNS Imports. I explained to them what I want to do, that I want to bring and showcase some of the products, but I just didn't know how or what anything about it.
I'm a big fan of gin and whiskey and tequila, but I've never heard of Baijiu, so I wanted to try it out.
Well, Baijiu is a unique category, and it's not like anything else out there. So it's very challenging for me to describe to you what Baijiu is from an experiential perspective.
I first sampled Baijiu in a punch at Peking Tavern in downtown Los Angeles.
The very first taste was something very new and awkward because I didn't have the background to understand what it was all about.
I am excited to learn about this Baijiu.
Most people in the US, most people outside of China have never heard of Baijiu, much less are able to pronounce it.
As a grain-based spirit, the primary ingredients are sorghum, wheat, rice, sticky rice, and corn.
The inspiration always when we're making these cocktails is to not hide the Baijiu.
There's a full spectrum of different flavors, and based on your personality, your own personal experiences in life, your brain is going to tell you what it tastes like.
But you really need to taste it as a neat pour to get the full character of it and develop a true appreciation for it, I think.
But I think Baijiu is really standing out as being extremely different. It's a different culture, it's a different approach. It's entering a new dimension on the tasting spectrum.
I decided to create cocktails based on showcasing the earthiness of the spirit.
So we just got this drink, and we've been drinking it for a few minutes, and I think it might be a Baijiu punch.
I have no idea what it is, but I'm excited to try it. I hope it's a Baijiu punch, but we'll find out.
This first cocktail we serve this evening is called Baijiu, We've Got It. It was Baijiu, which is Mianzu Tachi, And then we used a Amontillado sherry called El Maestro. Then, of course, it's a punch, so we gotta put some fruit in there. So I got strawberry, fresh lemon, and simple syrup as well. The second cocktail, it's, you know, super balanced, and it helps me kind of play around with all the different layers of the Baijiu. And then the next cocktail, which is the last cocktail, I think it's a very elegant cocktail.
I think it's going to be delish. Cheers.
So again, aroma is the Baijiu, but then when you're tasting it, you're tasting different layers. When I create cocktails, I like to know that, you know, from the beginning to the end, you're not tasting the same thing.
People have to go out there and form their own experiences instead of listening to other people, because it will be completely different. But just to give you some concrete information about Baijiu.
Every seminar we have attended and conducted, the surprise is that everybody is like, oh my God, this is so exciting. This is so flavorful. This is so smooth.
We have just thoroughly enjoyed the other Motex events that we've been to. And so even if we don't have any idea what we're going to be drinking, we know that we're going to have a good time.
Of all the great information shared tonight, I think the most fun fact is that Baijiu claims fully 31% of global spirits consumption.
We hope you've enjoyed learning about Baijiu as much as we have, and maybe you'll order it the next time you're at a Chinese restaurant.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us on this edition of Touring the Cocktail Motac Los Angeles at the fabulous Hakkasan restaurant in Beverly Hills. We'll see you next time.
Bye.